Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest Minty Reacts, and we are here for the latest episode of The Bad Batch. And following last week's double episode, I don't want to call it a two-parter because it wasn't actually a two-parter, it was just a double episode. I don't know where they're going with this show. I don't know where they're going. Because last week was very, very important in the whole canon and story of Star Wars for the simple fact that we got the first actual timeline mention of the Stormtroopers, which is kind of wild to think about. It's just really wild to think about that we got the first actual canon mention of the Stormtroopers, which is just wild. It's just wild. But we also got to see an entire episode with none of the Bad Batch in it at all. And then we got the second one where Echo left and we don't have Echo on the team anymore, which is sad. It's just like so sad. We don't have Echo anymore. And I don't know where they're going from here. I don't know where they're going. But also last week's, those two episodes together were basically just an animated Andor episode. And that is wild. That's just wild. The fact that they just animated an Andor episode and it was that good, which is a Star Wars animated show. They're always that good. That's just Star Wars animation. But either way, let's just get into this episode. This is called The Crossing. So, I don't know. We might get some cool stuff in this one. So let's just get right into it. So in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, you can already tell it's going to be a great episode because it's starting off with random acoustic guitar music. So it's starting off like a Western. I feel so weird with them not having Echo. Just feels strange them not having Echo on the team.
The mineral is highly combustible.
Oh, of course it is.
Like a primed thermal detonator.
That means this thing is blowing up.
I like it.
Yeah, this mine's going to be blowing up then before the end of the episode.
Call us if you see anyone.
Why not have it be... Why not have Hunter be a lookout and have Wrecker go in the mine? Wouldn't that make more sense?
The mineral is far too unstable. Even the slightest friction around it can cause a destructive chain reaction. Then, what do you suggest?
That seems like it's impossible to mine then, because you need to have at least a little bit of friction to get into the rock to mine it.
Thinking about Echo. It's weird without him around.
It is. Very weird.
But you'll get used to it.
She's sad. She's just real sad because her friend's gone. One of her family's gone. Like, it's understandable that she's sad.
Very careful.
I know.
And pretty sure if they keep telling her to be careful, like, something will actually then happen. Like, just let her do her thing. Nice. Okay, so the Ipsium is a liquid, then. Interesting. Or some type of plasma-like substance, I guess. It's not solid. Who is this random poaching person?
What is it, Hunter?
That sounds like our ship.
That is your ship!
Supposed to be on lookout. There was no one there. Clearly that was not the case.
You don't have like a backup? Like a backup thing on the ship to like call it back?
Since we do not have access to long-range communications without our ship, it is our only option.
Wow. Alright. Man, team's really falling apart without Echo there. Really falling apart already. I am glad that in this episode we're actually seeing the fallout from the previous episode, because I don't feel like we normally get to see that often with Bad Batch. We don't at least this season, we haven't really gotten like continuations of the actual stories from previous episodes.
Run.
It's either an earthquake or a stampede of some sort. Stampede. Cool. Cool. Space gazelles. Lovely. I mean, Wrecker, out of all of them, you're probably the one to withstand a stampede, though.
Dropping it next time. What are you carrying? Fine.
Yeah, it seems getting real snippy and real sassy with each other. And they are having a real tough time with this mission. It's a real tough time. Okay, back there somewhere. Uh-oh. This mission's gone great so far. It's gone wonderfully so far for all of them. Just, you know, perfect mission. No failures at all in this one. At all. None. Whatsoever.
So, now we are trapped. We have lost all...
Fair.
This is helping. Let's start digging our way out of here. Fine.
Yeah, this team is really falling apart without their fifth member. It's really, this isn't good. It's not good at all for them.
Correct. Besides, it is most unlikely that the Marauder will be recovered.
What? Don't say that. We have to get it back.
Yeah, you kind of gotta get it back.
This squad existed
Yeah.
before Echo was a part of it, and it will exist after. What is your issue?
The issue is that she cared about him.
I merely stated the truth. She already knows the truth. That's why she's upset.
This is a Tech not being able to read the room episode, 100%. And this is an episode that's like, hey, it's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay to feel sad. Wonder what that is. Oh my. Is that just like an entire vein of Ipsum? I believe it is.
That's not the only mistake you need to fix.
Go
check on the kid. But she...
And apologize.
Echo leaving. Talk to her. Very well.
Talk to her and be nice about it. Apologize. Don't be normal Tech.
I'm busy.
I can see that. Are you aware that you are surrounded by enough Ipsium that if not handled...
Ipsium, sorry. Ipsium.
Trust me to do that?
I am fully aware you are capable of the task.
Okay, not the best way of saying that, Tech, but, you know, it's something, I guess. It's a real dangerous one. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, conveniently placed underground river of some sort. Aquifer, possibly.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, time to go after the rest of the team. Because, if not, then the mine's gonna get them. Is there Ipsium in there too? Oh, yes there is. Or some type of mineral. There's something in that water. There is something in that water for sure.
Are alive. Where are you? That is a good question.
Where are you? Honestly, no idea. We'll let you know, though. We'll let you know when we figure it out.
Hunter, we found an alternate way out, but you will need to retrieve our gear.
And then make it through the rushing rapids back there as well, and make sure you don't blow yourself up. But, you know, we found a way out. Obviously.
Hang tight. We're on our way.
I hate this planet.
This is a pretty bad planet. I do agree, Record.
It is a fundamental part of life.
Echo left. Why doesn't that bother you?
This is the emotional talk part of the...
That is what soldiers do.
We are more than that. We're a family,
There we go.
aren't we?
There we go. She finally said it. Finally said it.
Don't you act like it?
Good question she poses there, Tech. Good question she poses there. Yeah.
May process moments and thoughts differently, but it does not mean that I feel any less than you.
Yeah. There we go. Just being honest with her. Just gotta be honest with her, Tech. You just... Hey, they made it. They made it. But yeah, you just gotta be honest, Tech. And be honest with yourself as well. That, yeah, you don't process emotions. Or, you don't think about things the same way that everyone else does. You think about them to the logical extremes, basically. Which compromises the emotional aspect of it. But you just gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta be honest with them.
If the shot is not precise, it will cause another cave-in.
That's true. Yeah, you gotta make sure you have the most precise shot here to do this one, or you're gonna be stuck in here for longer. Hey, it's the little port.
Does not appear to be much activity.
Well, there better be some chow there, because I'm sick of rations.
We can only hope. We can hope. There's some great scenery in this episode. Definitely gonna mention that in the post-episode, like, little discussion part that I do. But there is some great, like, background animation in this episode. So good.
Not nothing. I can send out a long-range transmission with that array.
There we go. There we go. You got something now.
No can do, fellas. I'm tied up at the moment. You'll have to figure it out yourselves.
Tied up doing what? Tied up doing what?
It's like we helped you regain control of your parlor from Roland Durand. And when we cleared your sizable debt with
I
Malegi.
didn't ask for a recap.
There we go. Got a little recap of some stuff from season 1 and 2.
We'll figure it out. Like we always do.
Yeah. Because you're a family. That's what families do. They figure things out. This was a very hostile planet to them, wasn't it? Very interesting episode that one was. Very interesting episode. Because, like, overall, especially compared to last week's episode, not much happened in that one. Not much happened. That was definitely a way more emotional episode, which is very obvious because of, you know, following the events of last week. Kind of had to have one of those, like, come down talking episodes, and that's what this one was. This was a come down talking episode that, you know, we did get a lot of good emotional beats from Tech and from Omega. I love, this is the one thing I love about Bad Batch in general, is like Omega is kind of the main character. Like, it's an ensemble show for sure, but Omega is like the main character. And I was talking last week with some other people that watched the show, and it's the fact that this show is technically a kid's show, and Omega is the perspective of the show. It's how you're supposed to look at it. It's like Omega is like a child's perspective in this galactic war that's happening, or in this like massive galaxy. You're supposed to look at it from the eyes of Omega. And also Omega is the audience as well, where some of this stuff we never have seen before. We don't know what this stuff is. But just like Omega, like, she doesn't know what, like, a lot of stuff is. And it's the Bad Batch's opportunity and their point to explain these things to the audience. Just like last week with Senator Chuchi explaining what the Senate is. It's like, this is the Senate. This is what the Senate does, kind of a thing. And that's both to the audience and to Omega. So that's kind of what this episode is too. This episode, honestly, it reminded me a lot of Sesame Street. It reminded me a lot of Sesame Street, where it basically was teaching you a very complex lesson in a very simple manner. And that complex lesson is that your emotions matter. What you're feeling matters. But you also have to realize that what you're feeling might not be how others are feeling, or how you're expressing those feelings isn't necessarily how others express those feelings, just like with Omega and Tech. Omega is distraught, like completely distraught, very sad about the loss of Echo. Now, yes, he's not dead, he's just gone, but, you know, about him not being there, and the fact that her idea was that the Bad Batch, as a group, were a family, because they've been through the ups and downs of a family. And this episode was just a bunch of really great, like, family squabbling, basically, of just them not being on the same page. That happens. But because she's still technically a child, she still has this idea of, like, why can't we all be together? And Tech, being this almost, like, overly rational and overly logical type of character, he doesn't necessarily express those emotions well, as he said in the episode. He's like, just because I'm not expressing them in the same way doesn't mean I'm not feeling them as well. That's just simply what it is. It's like Spock in Star Trek, where it's like, it's basically all Vulcans in Star Trek, where it's like, yeah, it's not that they're not feeling the emotions, they technically are deep down inside. It's just they don't show them, because that's just their culture. Their culture and their species is like meant to not show emotions, which is why Spock is so intriguing, because he's half human, so therefore he has more of those emotions. He shows more of those emotions. But that's the other universe. That's the other space universe. But yeah, this was an interesting episode. I'm not gonna say it was a good episode or a bad episode. This one was definitely an interesting episode that I think was definitely needed after animated Andor last week. And I appreciate it. I appreciated this episode a lot for what it was doing, for what it was trying to tell, where it was basically just telling, yes, this is just what it is. This is just kind of how it is, basically. And also teaching people about the emotions, and their emotions are important and such. But also the Ipsium is really interesting. Ipsium's really interesting, and I'm wondering how they're going to get their ship back. Because while tech is technically correct, like, yes, the ship is just a ship. It is a mode of transportation for us. It is, in fact, also their home. So, like, they kind of need to get their ship back. So, hopefully they get their ship back. And also, who's that, like, thief? I don't even know what to call him. Just, like, who were they? Like, are they just a random character, or are they actually somebody that we're supposed to know? We'll figure that out probably next episode. But that's what this episode. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this episode as well. And what do you think they're going to be doing from here? And also, just what do you think they're going to be doing from here? And if you like the video as well, leave a little like as well. If you like the channel as well, leave a little subscription as well. It definitely helps out and helps the channel out in general. So right over here is going to be a playlist for the rest of the Bad Batch episodes. Go ahead and watch those. They are pretty good. Or here's going to be a video that YouTube recommends as well. Go ahead and watch that too. And until next week, stay awesome, everyone. Stay awesome. Stay familiar and stay upbeat and all that good stuff. And I will see you all in the next episode, the next reaction. Until then, peace, everyone. Peace.